Hey, welcome back. Hope you're doing well again. I want to talk a little bit about how you view yourself, how you see yourself in the world, how you conduct yourself in the world, how you move through the world. We come here to experience life. The programming and traps and everything set for us to keep us in a limited experience of life is not exactly what we signed up for. But none of us really have to play this game of the simulation, the matrix, the dense, whatever it is you want to call it. We don't have to play the game. We have to understand how the rules of the game work in order to step outside or think outside the game and become free. That's not easy to do. It's really not. But like I said to myself, what's harder? Moving and consciously shifting everything within me to create a new life based on entirely different decisions that I've made to get me to this point. And that's what I mean by how do you see yourself in the world. While I was growing up, I always seen the world through very unique and different eyes, a completely different perspective. I learnt young through observation how people are, how people behave, how people lie, how they cheat, how they manipulate, how they're full of shit, how they're full of bad intent, and all they want is they want everything from you, but they're not prepared to transact or give anything back to you. Why is that? A lot of times it's how we see ourselves in the world. How is your self-worth? How is your self-esteem? How is your confidence? Because these are the important determining factors that help you move and navigate through life effectively or not. See, when we have low self-worth, we let people walk all over us because we're happy to take $18 an hour or whatever it is for that job. Because people think to themselves, can I do better with the skill sets I have? Probably not, but you can. Change your skill sets. Do something you love. I grew up in the 1970s. I was born in 72. It was fascinating. I was watching some information last night about kids growing up in the 70s. We really were a generation that built ourselves. We were allowed to play from the moment it got light till the street lights came on. And I wouldn't say the parents didn't care where we were. It was just an environment where we were safe and we just played all day and we had a shit ton of fun doing whatever it was we're doing, building forts, burning shit, whatever you do, like, chains on power lines, because you just want to see what's going to happen. That's the shit you did. You got your bike. You didn't wear helmets or any of this stuff. You smashed yourself up. You got up, shook yourself off, and you kind of understood, wow, that was dangerous. I might not do it that way again. I might do it this way. So growing up at that age, I taught myself a lot about independence, observation, spatial awareness, environmental awareness. But what that did was build me into a super survival machine where my aura expanded so big that I was able to read people a long way away and environments a long way away and give me feedback to know if it's safe or not. Today, we want to move out of survival mode into growth, evolution, play mode. The amygdala as I mentioned, in the center of the brain, is this old reptilian fight or flight survival, and it's supposed to open up like a lotus flower. That's the evolution. We have to allow that to happen. And a lot of this comes back to, how do you see yourself? How do you view yourself in the world? Like, for a long time, when I would look in the mirror, I would avoid mirrors. I didn't like what I saw. I didn't. But I thought, why is that? This is me. I'm going to live in this body for a while. I'm going to be looking at the mirror. Should I not be more comfortable with myself? Why don't I look like what I see? I'll tell you what. When you have something you have that's quite powerful, and people don't understand it, but they feel it and they know it, and some darker entities, let's say, don't want you to go through a breakthrough, because if you do, certain things will end, then you're attacked a lot. In my 50 years, I nearly died 4 or 5 times. Doctors nearly killed me a few times. I broke my collarbone a couple of times. My son's coming home with his noisy car. So I decided to start looking at, I want to be comfortable in my own skin. Oh, my son's car. It's his birthday today. I want to be comfortable in my own skin. How do I do that? Mirror practice can help a lot. I don't know if you've heard of mirror practice. Basically, the deletes, or the elites as I don't like to call them, they have been using mirror practice, mirror techniques for a long time. This is something that was hidden from us. It allows you to see into other dimensions, other realms. It allows you to see what entities are around you. It even allows you to see you in past lives. So because I was targeted for so long, I kind of joined in. And I know a lot of you are thinking that too. And you think, well, if everybody's trying to take me out and there's no one around me helping me, what do I do? So for a long time there, I beat the shit out of myself. Alcohol, drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, just to try and fit in, soothe the homesickness that some of us have. That's a big thing with a lot of starseeds here, is we're homesick, but we don't remember where home is. And so we're always trying to get back to home because we're not whole inside. This is how I lost my tooth, because I just gave up on myself. I didn't give a fuck about myself anymore. But I don't like feeling that way. And I know that I'm talking to a lot of you out there that do feel that way, and I don't want you to feel that way. We're here to experience life and have fun, not being smashed by other people because we want to better ourselves. I've mentioned it before, there's so many people running around, one of my early videos. I want a better life, I want to be fit and healthy, I want to be a millionaire. But they do absolute fuck all to go and get it. If you want to do any of this, you've got to work towards it, you've got to move towards it. But you've got to be happy inside doing what you're doing. The biggest problem today is everyone is telling you what to do, how to live your life. And most of us, unfortunately, listen to this dribble. And again, it comes back to, how do you see yourself in life? For me, I don't care if people like me. I couldn't give a shit. And the reason being is, it's none of my business what other people think. I know I'm not liked for a lot of reasons. The way I think outside the box, the way I can problem solve anything, the way I can give the right advice at the right time because of channel beings that speak through me when somebody is in my presence and needs to hear something certain. I will give it to you. And I made a conscious decision 8.5, 9 months ago now, when I moved into this place. And this place, I have my own room, which I probably mentioned. I've been in isolation in my own room for about 95% of the time for the last 9 months. Have I loved it? Yeah. I got my own little electronic drum kit in there. I've got my computers in there. I've got my altar in there. I got my weight set in there. Not doing too much at the moment because I busted some ribs and stuffed my foot. But anyway, that's part of the experience, isn't it? I'm grateful because it made me slow down. But I see heartbreak. Like, I see the pain behind people's smiles, behind their eyes. And you've got to give credit to these people that are depressed as fuck. And depression is just lack of expressionism, because they're not allowed to express themselves. Me, I express and I don't care. And the reason I do is because we're supposed to be here to express. Like, when I was younger, I loved to draw, I loved to paint, I loved to pull things apart, build electronics, invent things. I love inventing and creating. But as I grew older, and all these identities and people starting to tell me how to live my life, I lost all of that. All of it. There's been many times I've broken down and cried because I had some amazing big ass drum kits in my days, you know, and I'm forever watching bands because I love music. And it got me thinking, like, this programming, this whole system is very powerful and it's working very well. Now I'm going to break it. I'm going to break it because I don't agree with how I'm living in this reality. I think it's absolute shit. I think what I've done to myself is absolute shit. I think what everyone has done to me is absolute shit. I think what people have done to you out there is absolute shit. And so I consciously decided that, no, enough's enough. That's it. I'm done with your games. I'm done with your shit. Because I sit here and I listen to the advice from all these fucking broken, poor people telling me what to do. I stopped listening a long time ago. I listened to me. And inside of me is God. So, today, most have lost their way. They are not connected to Source anymore. They sold their soul to the devil, or the demons, or whatever you want to call it. Many different names. The dark entities, let's just say. And again, it all comes down to self-esteem. Like Gary Vee, great guy, great entrepreneur. He had somebody ask him one day, hey, look, you know, my young daughter, let's say she's 9, she spends way too much time on TikTok, bullshit platform that, all of them, TikTok. And Gary Vee said, work on their self-esteem. You can limit their time on these iPads, but as soon as they're out of your sight, there's no limit. You don't even know where they're going. So TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat are raising our younger generation. Sad but true. Because it's a great babysitter. All kids up to the age of 7 should be protected in their own home until the age of 7 minimum. Because once they hit 7 and they haven't been fucked in their head by other people, they have a greater chance of having a good life. But they have to be looked after. You know, for me, for example, like, this is part of my story. When I was growing up, I don't know if you remember the cane back at school. Thin piece of, or rulers, yeah. We got canes, like cane, like they make cane furniture. Because a lot of my teachers at school were full of shit. So even at a young age, I called them out and told them that that experiment you're doing is wrong and it's going to have the wrong effects that you're looking for. This is how you should be doing it. They didn't like that. And I used to fight with them all the time. Because they think, well, why are you teaching us shit? Why aren't you teaching us the truth? And because I pushed back so hard in school, I spent a lot of time up in the office getting caned. Caned on the hand, caned on the ass. I'd go home some days and show my dad and I'd have welts all over my ass. My legs. Some days on my hands. And I'm one of these people where I don't mind pain. So I made sure that every time the headmaster caned me, I fucking laughed at his face. Do you know how much that breaks someone's spirit? I do. And that's what I used to do. Because I used to say, you won't break me. You can fucking cane me as much as you want. You won't break me. You will never break me. Did they? No. Why? Because I'm mentally strong enough. It's only pain. Pain will pass. Lose legs, so what? Well, it's a bit much of that, but this is what I think. What I think is very unconventional. But it's helped me a lot. So I used to get caned a lot. A lot. My stepdad used to pull branches of what you call a privet bush and pull the leaves off and smack me with it. Belts, wooden spoons. Mum broke a wooden spoon over me once. I know some of you guys out there know what I'm talking about. Did I ever hit my son? Twice. Not with a cane. With my hand. Just enough pressure to stun him, because it was the only reason I said that I would smack you is if you put yourself into a harmful situation, you have to learn not to do that again. He did it twice. The only reason I did it was to sting his ego. Because I said, this stops with me. I will not continue what has been passed down from generation to generation. No. My son, I'm very proud of my son. He's growing up to his birthday today. He's 19 today. And I'm really proud of him. And he is about all I have left in my life. And I'm happy with that. Because he respects me and I respect him and I love him. And he loves me. This is one of the most truthful videos I've done. But I do want to tell my story. I got smacked so hard one day by my dad around the ear that my ear bled. Anyway, I like to challenge myself. And as I said, any kids today growing up with all this TikTok stuff, just try to get them to sit well in their skin. Teach them self-esteem. It's very important. If they have a high enough self-esteem, bullying can't touch them. Most of the stuff that happens, they'll have enough to say, no, I don't want to do that. Excuse me. And we must protect our kids today, like I've said all the time. In India and other cultures, they will not let their kids associate with anyone outside their immediate family, mum and dad, for 7 years. There's something in that. Sadhguru once said that how human population should be moving forward is a man and a woman of good morals, good standards, get together, have a baby. The baby is born with slightly better morals, and higher standards. And then as they move forward, they meet, have babies, have babies, and our morals and standards should be risen. But it's not. there's so much horrificness in families today, especially sexual and abuse and emotional abuse. It's quite a horrible world if we dive into that, but we don't want to dive into that because we want to fix it, we want to solve it. We're already working on things, but we have to become the people that are powerful enough to do this. In order to do this, we have to sit comfortable within ourselves. Again, I'm doing these videos because I'd like people to see where I come from, the journey, and how everything around me is going to get better and better and better as we move forward. And the reason I'm sharing with this is I want everybody that is here, that meets me, to have a better life, better thinking, better health, better everything. Why? Why not? Why not? You deserve it. I deserve it. You deserve it. I'm only here to teach truth, nothing else. If I ever say anything wrong that's untruthful in my video, please let me know, but I only speak truth. And it'll hurt. I don't care. Because everybody needs to hear truth today. You know, love, honor, and respect yourself. Spend time in nature. Spend time with people that you really like. Listen to great music. Dance, sing, hum, paint, scream, play drums. When your neighbor's dog goes crazy, get your snare drum out and beat the fuck out of it. Have some fun and party with the dog. No, don't do that. You'll get arrested. This is our world. This is my world. This is your world. Therefore, I want to create the reality I want to live. And I will. And I am. And I want you to do the same. That's why we're on this journey together. I'm glad you're here. I really am. You know, one of my subscribers has reached out to me. And that's absolutely amazing. That's exactly what I'm doing this for. Because where I am, physically, I don't have anyone to talk to about what I'm going through. So I decided to make this to attract others. My intent is to attract others going through the same thing so we can help each other and I can help you. I love doing this. There's no professionalism in any of these videos yet. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't give a fuck about the marketing and all the gloss shit. What matters is the message. I'm only a messenger. So don't get caught up in the messenger with my looks or whatever it is. If something turns you off me, it doesn't matter. Listen to the message. Close your eyes, I don't care. Listen to the message, it's important. Alright guys, I'm gonna go and wish my son happy birthday again. Have a great day. Catch you next one.